What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. OG here, and I have a special video for you because we are going to listen to a former pro, a big-time content creator that's very good at these games and, more importantly, knows these games very well. And it's not your normal suspect that I reach out to for their feedback, right? This is someone who has just as valuable of an opinion here, though, and he speaks facts, right? Many of these things I've been saying over and over and over again, but sometimes hearing it from a different perspective helps. And we're going to go into the nitty-gritty details as to why FC26 is going to stand out from the rest of the new games, quote-unquote, where every year it was just a glorified update of kits and update of players, the big transfers into the new teams, and that's about it. Something that could have been done on an update instead of making us spend $100 for the Ultimate Edition or $60-$70 for the regular edition for a bunch of nonsense, right? This year, it's going to be different. You're going to see why. And you're going to see why, for the first time, maybe ever, you can actually trust EA Sports. At least trust that they will deliver us a great game. So, let's get into it and listen to this man right here, AA9 Skills.
I'm so happy as Anthony on the changes that are coming to FC26, if they're real, right? Because I know a lot of times we're like, oh, we're not going to get the next game, and then we pre-order it and everything's the same. But this really seems to me like they are making some massive changes that we're going to talk about in this video. And then I'm really pissed. I'm really upset. As AA9 Skills, the creator, I'm upset. But I'm cool with being upset, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm cool with being upset. I'm upset because EA Sports has taken responsibility and said that they see what is wrong with the game and they're attempting to fix that. Why I'm a little bit upset is because there's certain creators in this community that have been bashed by the community for not speaking up when we have speaked up and we've begged for certain changes, and now the changes are happening in 2026 and we've been begging for them since like 2019.
So I want to touch on this real quick just because I'm not some huge content creator, but I have been getting flack. Not as much from EAFC, but some where, you know, no matter what you say, it's, oh, skill issue, you're just mad because you're not winning, or you didn't win that game, that's the only reason you're saying this, or whatever. And it couldn't be further from the truth. If you really follow the channel, you know that win, lose, or draw, everything I speak about, right? And I'm a harsh critic because I want the best for the player base regarding getting the best game. So you must speak up and be honest, because when everybody speaks up, when everybody stays true to the fact that, okay, if this is a good game, I'll play it, I don't mind spending money. If it's a bad game, no way, I'm not playing, I'm not spending money, as opposed to saying all these things and then continuing to spend money. That's the worst thing you can do. But the second worst thing you can do is not speak up at all and just sit there and go, well, they're never going to listen. I heard that constantly in eFootball and UFL, because this season, if you didn't follow the channel, I spent this season playing every game. For the first time, I deep dove into every game, and it was great because I got to see how grateful I was for many things at FC that we take for granted. I got to see some areas where these other games do better than FC, and overall, it's just good to know all the football games that are out there. I met some amazing people along the way. So the whole point is, when you don't say anything, when you keep spending money, no matter how much you do say, the development companies, they're just going to keep giving you garbage. We are the ones in power, right? Who holds the money holds the power. And you think, well, EA Sports is in power then because they're so rich. They're rich because of us. We hold the money. We hold the power, because if we stop paying, if we stop playing, they stop making money. So that's one area where I disagree with AA9. It does hurt them when you don't spend money on packs and other things, but it's the exact same thing. When you don't play the game, right, then they know that the next year they're going to have less people, you know, spending that 100, spending that 60, 70. But let's be honest, most people, if they buy it, they buy the Ultimate Edition for the FC points and stuff like that, the early access. But either way, it also hurts because of what AA9 Skills talks about, sponsors, right, and anything that's going to hurt their dollar sign and that big number at the behind the dollar sign, that's when they're going to start paying attention and shit rolls downhill. Now the suits upstairs are going to come down to the developers and say, what's the deal? You need to fix this. We need more players playing so we can make more money. And that is where we hold the power. And finally, EA Sports, listen, finally FC26 players spoke up, were loud enough to get their voice heard. And so eFootball and UFL, you need to take note of this.
And I'm one of them. And I don't want to be like, oh, because of me. It's not because of me that this is happening. This is not happening because of me. It's not happening because of any content creator that spoke out against EA Sports. This is happening because of every single one of you watching. I'm going to explain really quickly before we get into the good stuff, the juicy stuff that's coming.
So listen to this closely.
Listen, okay? When people used to say, content creators need to stop spending money. If y'all stop spending money, EA Sports will feel it in their wallet, and then boom, they'll change the game. Nope. I used to say that's not going to fix it. What's going to fix it is when people stop playing the game. And what happened this year was...
Again, I disagree slightly there because I think this, what he just said, not spending money, does definitely matter on top of what he's about to talk about. Both of them equally affect how EA Sports reacts with regards to listening to us, making changes, or just letting the game go because they're getting rich, no matter how much it sucks. So here's why we are actually getting changes this year. And again, eFootball and UFL, if you want changes over there with those games, if you still play those games, you need to take note of this blueprint.
Was you guys, the people at home, said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with the direction EA Sports is taking this game in. I'm not playing it. Their sales are down, and the amount of time that people are on their video game is down, right? Now, their sales being down, guess what? Gaming is down in general. There's many games not hitting the sales they used to hit. But EA Sports is not having people stay on their game. If you look at the numbers of how many games are played a day, it's much less from the numbers I've seen than the previous years. Now, this is a problem for EA Sports. A few years ago, it wouldn't have mattered because guess what? FIFA has their sponsors, right? FIFA has Coca-Cola. You guys watch the World Cup, MasterCard. You see the sponsor that FIFA has. EA Sports had to follow that because of FIFA. When FIFA separated from EA Sports can now go FC26. They got to go get their own sponsors. The problem is, lads, when your numbers are down, Amazon, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Nike, Adidas, they might not want to work with you the same way they want to work with you, and the bag might not be as big as it once was when the views were big, when people were playing. So now we got to fix the game. Now the CEOs are saying, yo, what's the problem here? And they got to fix it. And I think we've gotten to the point where things actually might change. If you ask me, Skills, do you think they're just finessing us so we buy the game again? No, I don't. And I'm going to tell you this from the bottom of my heart. Because I think the numbers and what I just told you about sponsorships is a massive problem for EA Sports. It is a massive problem because it's not just about us opening up packs. That's cool. That money can still be good for them. But the fact that the sponsorship money is probably, they gotta please certain hit certain numbers for the sponsorship people, right? Like, for example, if I do a brand deal right now with Gatorade, and Gatorade's like, hey man, every single video has to hit 100,000 views. And I made this deal back in FIFA 19, or FIFA 19, FIFA 20, FIFA 22, easy, bro. 100, 200, 300,000 views, we can hit those numbers all the time. Come 2025, we're not hitting those numbers no more, right? Is it because Skills is old and fell off and this and this and this and this? Maybe, but it's also because FIFA has fell off, right? People are not playing this game the way this game is once played.
Period. That's the bottom line, right? There's a little phrase for you young generation. Period. That's why this game has finally came to the point where we're actually going to get good results, right, from the next year's game. For years and years, it was just nonsense, like I said. But because the numbers have fallen off, because the players actually stopped playing the game, they're finally going to listen to us. That's the bottom line. It's really a simple formula, but you hear all the time, right? Players still don't get it. Oh, well, they're never going to listen. They're a rich company. Well, what's the point? Or why are you complaining? Just accept what the game is and keep playing it. No, you couldn't be further from the truth. If everybody took that route, if every content creator took that route, even if all the content creators spoke up and all of the regular players or smaller content creators like myself, right, just didn't say anything, it wouldn't work because that $sign and the big number after it would still be huge. All of us needed to speak up. All of us needed to stop playing the game, and therefore they hear us, right? They see why we're not playing the game. They see that big number start to shrink. They see their sponsorships start to go away because they're not hitting the big numbers. So these other companies, and maybe not even go away, just offer them less because their numbers are lower. And they say, hey, developers, make this game better. We need more players because we want more money. That's where we hold the power We hold the money. No matter how rich EA Sports is, we got them there. And we can take it away. Remember that. And if you're at eFootball or UFL, you need to take that same mindset. And don't worry about these idiots that are going to say, oh, quit complaining, quit whining. You're just mad because they don't know what they're talking about. They clearly don't want a better game or are too ignorant to realize that they're contributing to why the game's not getting better. You don't have to be heard individually per se, but everyone together is what gets the changes made. Just as AA9 said, it's because of you that FC26 is going to be a great game. Now, this is the nitty gritty, right? These are the details that make FC26 stand out as a new game compared to every other year for the past several years, where EA Sports is just throwing up some nonsense to make us think they made these big changes when they really did nothing. So really pay attention to the difference and the details in what they're changing that fits the player base and what we want, as opposed to what fits just them trying to make players excited and just it's a bunch of nonsense, right? You have to read between the lines.
Fest knows what he's talking about here. Absolute beastly and feastly. So main things, lads, as you guys can see, slower power curve. The first time through ball glitch is fully nerfed. We'll see about that. Or the first time. And then it also says the L1 speed boost has been nerfed as well. Timed finishing is being removed. Trivela shots massively nerfed. Gameplay is improved. Speed is improved. Go cards will now feel FC25 with Team of the Seasons. Okay, that's kind of crazy. AI defense has been nerfed. We'll see about that. I hope it stays that way. Passing is much faster. Defending is no longer catched up to attackers too quickly. The low-driven power shot is currently the most effective way to shoot the power shot playstyle. The low-driven player. So I guess that's from people playing the game. What else is in here? Anything else that really stands out? The drafting I saw. You could turn off the shot. I don't see anybody putting the drafting, but I saw the drafting earlier. I swear I saw the drafting earlier. That drafts.
So, let's.
Going to be. It was during one of the interviews where drafts, and no one's really talking about because no one plays drafts no more because they kind of killed that mode without updating it. So, agree. The feeling on FC26 is different, focused than ever.
He almost went into what he was talking about with drafts. I have no idea what he's talking about there, but guess what? We'll be surprised. That's hilarious. So I do that all the time where I have so much on my mind that he was just about to say where drafts are going to be, and then he stopped. So I wanted to try to catch that. But the bottom line is this, guys. All these details are focused on improving the experience that players, face in the game. Instead of like brand new engine, brand new hyper motion movement, blah blah blah, brand new, all these big crazy words to make us super excited about this, that, and like they would talk about the 3 core things we worked on were hypersensitive, controlled, graphics, sensors, blah blah. You know what I mean? It was a bunch of words. That's all it was. And then they'd have like a close up of the sweat going down Holland's face, like the new super focused double platinum camera is gonna make you feel like you're immersed in this deeply gratifying 4K game. And it was just bull crap, right? Everything was like that. It was just a bunch of filler words, trying to find, looking up in a dictionary, what's the exciting words to use that mean this and this, and it was a glorified kit updater with players updated that were transferred from club to club. This is totally different. Now, could they just be saying all this as we discussed previously? Yes, they could absolutely just be saying all this once again like they have in the past. However, the difference is exactly what we talked about before. Their pockets finally were hurt. That's the difference from this year and every other year. And like I said, I'll say it again because it's so important. If you play UFL, if you play eFootball, or even just as a player base, we should try to make it known. This is the blueprint to get a better game, because better football games overall, better competition for EA Sports, for EAFC, means that these development companies, they're going to have to give out better products. Because if they give trash, we can leave. And in that sense, I do feel like, I don't know to what extent, but we owe eFootball and UFL a great deal of thanks, because I think when the numbers started going down, EA Sports realized, well, that's no coincidence that now we have competition. We can't just give them the same old crap that big number after the dollar sign is going to keep dropping. We need to keep improving, and that's when they got on the developers and said, hey, fix this, and now we're getting those changes. I truly, wholeheartedly believe it is all connected in that sense.
Rather than features, can't deny how positive it is. Look, I'm not gonna sit here. I have no hate towards it. All I can say to y'all is if EA's actually doing what they're saying, then they listened. They listened to all of us. They listened to the community, and I can only say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's all the community's ever wanted. All the rant videos we've ever dropped, all the times we've gotten upset, we just want it. Now I will keep it honest with y'all. Like I said, I'll keep it a stack with everybody. Am I scared that they do all this stuff and then week 1 patch comes out because they see players are upset and people are getting scored on, they change it all instantly? Yeah, I'm terrified of that. I am.
Now, I am terrified of that too, but to end it on a positive note, right? Here is why I don't think we have to worry about that anymore. That's a great point from AA9 Skills. They've said this all before, right? Only to end up disappointing us. But why we shouldn't have to worry about that, why I'll bet the house that we don't have to worry about that anymore, is because the numbers would go right back, and they're smart enough to know that. Remember, who holds the money holds the power. And yes, EA Sports is a big, rich company, but they're big and rich because of us. We hold the power. And we finally realized that. Stop buying packs, stop playing the game. That made EA Sports listen and get the changes going that we wanted to be, to get us to the point where we would play the game again. And they don't want to lose that, especially so soon. Maybe eventually we'll have to maybe let these mofos know what's up again as they start to get rich again when they make the game better. But it 1,000% won't be that quick, right? We have at least FC26, probably a few more years till we really got to let them know again. And at least now we know the blueprint and we can keep EA Sports in check. So eFootball, UFL, take note. Do the same thing with Konami, with Strikers, because all of these companies have one thing in common. They're all about that dollar sign. With that being said, FC26 looks amazing. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. And now available, a brand new Discord server that acts as the headquarters to OG FC. It gives OG FC a new meaning because we are a team. We are going to work together to provide the best experience for all of our players in FC26 and beyond. No more going into the game not knowing what to do, having that FOMO, that fear of missing out going on, because there's so much, right? Even with slowing down the promos they're releasing, you go in every day, there's so many different objectives. You don't know, should I do squad battles? Should I play this? Should I play that? What are the best players? Am I missing out here? Am I going to waste my coins if I buy this player now? Why am I buying these players and they keep crashing, right? Why do I play every team and they're so far ahead of me? What am I doing wrong with my squad building? My tactics seem to stink. All of it, right? It can get overwhelming to the point where many players say, why am I even playing? I'm not having fun. We're going to get rid of that. This will be a one-stop shop for you to get feedback from all types of different players, 24/7, because there's all different time zones within our community. And you will be able to look at things as you see here, such as tactics, SBCs, what objectives to do, all of them ranked, right? From a must-do to a could help to a waste of time. All the different modes, breaking down the different cups coming up, the different squad restrictions to complete those cups, or tournament teams that you need, because apparently when they have these tournaments, there's going to be different restrictions there too. Whatever you need, whatever you can think of that gives you stress in the game, we have the answer for it. One-stop shop. $2.99 a month. You will not find that value anywhere else. There is nothing like this out there. You can go ahead and check. OGFC is a true non-pro EAFC football club that's aiming to make every player the best that they can be to reach the full potential on the pitch. Every single one of us goes out either individually or co-op, but we have an army of players behind us that have helped us get to the point we're at, and that will continue to help us improve. So I'm excited about that. $2.99 a month. You can join that. Check out the YouTube memberships too. There's 2 different versions, including the OGFC MVP, where you get 1v1 coaching that transfers over to Discord, where you get every benefit over there as well. Again, you can find more details in my previous video. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.